Right, so this was a white turtle shell that was across the room in a cup, and I just moved it to the corner of this table yesterday at some point early on. Right here is this, there's this cardboard that's been pinned up, and it's made to look like it's blocking the sunlight or whatever. Well, behind it, there was this piece of cardboard that's laying back there. And like it was set up. See how weird it is? And this cardboard was set up kind of like that. Like it was set up like sticking out like that, to where I thought that it was shaped differently. Like I thought that it was shaped like more pyramidal or whatever, like a pyramid, because it was sticking out just like that. And I didn't didn't seem to be any reason why it would be sticking out like that, but it's been sticking out like that the whole time. You know what I mean? And it was all yesterday and stuff. Well, I was in the shower yesterday, and over here, this turtle shell was over here. Well, I came back out, and the turtle shell had been crushed, almost like somebody leaned up against it like that, crushed that turtle shell, and that had been taken down, and all of a sudden it was down. So, and whoever did it, they waited until they knew that I was in the shower. I've been here by myself. Just the night before, somebody was talking about hidden cameras or whatever, and so I actually got up and started to look around this house, you know what I mean? Or the house that I'm in, the apartment that I'm in. For the first time, I was like, oh, that's weird. And I got up and I started to actually look around and be like, just out of curiosity, I wonder if that same thing is happening in my apartment. You know what I mean? And I began to look around, and one of the places that I actually walked over to was that boxy thing that was over there. And I actually did reach over to it, and I was like, this is a weird thing. Like, if somebody was going to hide a camera anywhere, I would be surprised if, you know what I mean? I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's one behind this, but I didn't actually move it myself. And you can see how, if there was something back there that it could have, you know what I mean? You could have even plugged it in down here. I mean, if it needed pluggy things, if it even needed anything like that. Here's something weird. That just, it wasn't back there, or I never noticed that it was back there or whatever, but it's definitely weird. It's definitely weird for that thing to be, you know what I mean, ripped down off of there. And aside from that one big main hole, there doesn't seem to be any pinholes or anything in it, but like I said, it was pretty weird. And I could have sworn that was, I don't know, it was back there in there somehow, but it was more so I don't know if it was if it was nailed into the wall or what was going on there. There's a whole turtle shell a white turtle shell that was pretty cool, that I found out in the forest and brought back in. And I most certainly did not break this during my time chilling here at the house by myself. So it almost seems like somebody was watching me through cameras, waited until they knew that I was in the shower, and then came into the house and had to fuck around right here. And then they left before I get out of the shower. I wouldn't even notice that I wouldn't even be suspicious that anyone had come in here until I would look over and see that the turtle shell was completely broken in half on the corner of the table. Like I said, it hadn't been there before. I had it in another area, and I just, stuck it there on the corner here. This kind of shit right here, this is what I see almost everywhere I go. there's no reason why there should ever be holes like that in the ceiling, especially in this day and age where we have to worry about there being cameras and weird, weirdos and perverts with hidden cameras and stuff. But that right there, that's a whole extra. Like, I thought that was, as I said, I thought that was more like triangular shaped. I didn't even realize that it was a flat thing down there, up there. Sorry. So it's like, I guess that I messed up by just only almost pulling something down to see if there was a camera behind it, because if I would have pulled it down and seen a camera behind there, I guess that I could have called the law and, potentially had something done about it, and been able to prove, the whole case that I've been in and talking about this whole time. But like, I guess I stopped myself. Like, there was also that chance of, if I find this camera in here, the person who put it there is going to be watching me find it. And how much time am I really going to have? Like, what's going to happen if I find it? Is somebody going to jump out quickly close to me? Or, I personally don't have any idea what to do. And I know, no one has ever explained to me what to do in situations like this. And I think that no one would know what to do in a situation like this. And just that fear that a person who has had to live under a constant monitoring and surveillance and stuff like that, like, when that's the only life that you've known, especially, it can be very terrifying to, like, you can dream, even as a trafficking victim, you can dream of being rescued the whole time. But the more time that you spend like that, the more that you stop thinking that you're ever going to be rescued. And then even the idea of rescue begins to sound like a scary thing. So anyways, if there's anyone out there who has any, like, if there's anyone out there who has any, advice for people who are going through this, right now would be the time to put the advice out there. And I just wanted to give you guys an example of what weird stuff looks like when it happens once in a while around me. And this was definitely an example of a weird thing. Now, my name is on the lease here, and there are cameras that lead all the way up the stairs here. So if I really wanted to push it, I could say that someone did come in and obviously break something and mess around while I was in the shower yesterday, and that I would like to see who it was. But the people who have access to this surveillance are potentially the ones doing this and involved in this. So how can I ask them for help? And if it's my housemate who walked up the stairs to get the camera, or to do whatever, then how can he get in trouble for coming into his own house unless I can prove without a shadow of a doubt that he came in here and messed around with the stuff. Now, yesterday was Saturday. Today is Sunday.